hello, it's Kev here. So, time for a video. I tried to make one earlier, but too much noise outside of my office, people crashing about, traffic. Anyway, first things first. Disclaimer, fair use, teaching purposes, etc, etc. Okay, so now, as you may or may not know, you should know by now, we're running down all Cambridge IELTS academic writing task number ones. That's the data, the graphs, the charts, the maps, the process tables, yeah? Every one of those, starting from 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Now we're on number 10. This is test number 2. This is all about Fairtrade coffee and banana sales. So, wherever you are, if you're on IELTS 9 Pro, a Parrot, or YouTube, or etc., I write a sample, post it in my group or on Telegram if my finger's pointing the right direction. IELTS 9 Pro. On Telegram, link below, so you can join us if you wish. And I write a sample, I post the task, and I take the first 5 respondents, and that's what I review and assess. Okay, so let's have a look at mine first. 202 words, because there's quite a lot of data here. Okay, so introduction, pretty straightforward. For tables, illustrate, depict, or show, etc. Right? You don't have to spend a lot of time on this. This should just take you a minute to write this one. Okay, just make sure that you get all the key information. 1999 to 2004, 5 countries, banana and coffees. That's it. Sorry, coffee and bananas. Overview. More important. Key trends and features. What's the biggest, what's the smallest, what's gone up, what's gone down, etc. So, we can see Fairtrade coffee sales rose in all 5 countries. Bananas only increased in 3 out of the 5. UK saw by far highest levels of spending on both. So, what's the biggest, etc. Okay. Now, in terms of progression for your cohesion and coherence score, I would start, as I do, from the biggest, moving to the smallest, and then at the end, what was unchanged or what was insignificant. You know, so usually biggest to the smallest works. I suppose you could do it the opposite way round. It doesn't make a lot of difference, but you must have a progression, not, jumping about randomly comparing things. So I won't read it out. You can see it here. So talk about highest sales figures and data. Banana sales, highest figures and data, increased 3 times the number, making comparisons, like it says, comparisons if relevant, put them there, okay. And what else? Revenues rising, significant increases. By way of contrast, they were lower in these 3 countries. Minor sales, more or less the same, and actually fell in Belgium and Sweden. So that's basically it. I'll just leave it there so you can see it. Okay. Now, for the student responses, I'm probably not going to correct every single error in terms of grammar and vocab. Don't have the time nor the inclination or the patience to do so, actually. So let's have a look. But I'll tell you what you need to work on though. Okay? Right. Get back here. So the provided tables give information. The provided tables give how much Fairtrade labelled bananas and coffee were sold in 5 European countries. Capitalise in the years. So we've got some grammar mistakes right from the start. And overall, in the category of coffee, or simply in coffee sales. So article, majority of sales, 20 million euros, were in the UK. So article and capitalise, comma, because you've got a relative pronoun, which were 3 times higher than that of 4 other countries. Layouts, what? You mean expenditure? Not the same? Okay, on the other hand, well, it's not. On the other hand, we usually use that when we're writing an essay. You've got 2 contrasting views. On the one hand, so. However, on the other hand. But this is not an essay, so there is no on the one hand. You can say by way of contrast, because it's not a different opinion. It may be contrasting or comparable information, but it's not an essay. In the bananas category, Switzerland underwent, because it's past tense, we're not using present perfect here, has undergone, because we know it was in 2004, so we can't use present perfect, can we? Underwent a significant sale of 47 million. In terms of coffee, punctuation. Now, England is not the UK. England is a sovereign nation, a nation state, part of the United Kingdom. Not the same thing. Because the UK covers Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, etc. United Kingdom. The most considerable rise in selling, or in sales, which were 1.5 and reached 20 million euros, compared to Denmark, capitalise, and its cohorts. Its cohorts? Don't think it's a cohort. So a tiny portion of increase. What you mean? Saw a small, a minuscule, a minor increase. Swiss sales, present perfect. Can't use it. They doubled. It's past tense. And in the last country, Belgium, sales, or Belgian, because Belgium's the country, Belgian is the adjectives, 1 to 1.7 in the second table. So it's quite a lot of stuff here. I'm spending too much time correcting one piece of writing here. Comprised a whole raft of Comprised a whole raft of banana sales. What does that mean? How can you comprise a whole raft of sales? What's the actual figures? Did it increase? Did it decrease? A whole raft of banana sales? Okay. England, it's not England, it's the UK. I told you, it's not the same country. Does it? Right. What's it say? UK, United Kingdom. Not England, not Scotland, not Wales. And if it's a country, it wants to be capitalised. Capitalise it. Swiftly in contrast, Sweden and Denmark showed a downward trend respectively, even though the UK and Belgium sales have quad. Again, what's this present perfect? We're not connecting past and present. Okay, so grammar, quite a bit of it. Punctuation and capitalisation. The given tables reveal. Well, they don't reveal. Usually, if something is revealed, it's hidden before and then it is revealed. So, shows, it illustrates. But it's not revealing because it's not hidden. Fairtrade product sales, including coffee and bananas in different countries. Right, okay, yeah, that's good. In most countries, sale rate increased in varied amount. So, did it go up? Did it go down? So, in terms of overview, that doesn't really work. It doesn't clearly identify the key trends or features. So, there was some variation, but was it in all 5? Was it in only 3? What went up? What went down? So that doesn't really work there. Now, the UK did more sales in comparison with others, experiencing 15 times more in coffee sales. Well, can you experience more in sales? You can You can have more, you can spend more, but can you experience more? All countries, all other countries, all other countries apart from a progress. Oh, right. The UK did more sales in comparison with what was next period, 15 times more in coffee sales, while all other countries, apart from the progress they made, did less than the UK. That's not very clear as to what is going on there. The table shows the amount of sales in Switzerland. Right, again, why are you using present perfect? We're not connecting past and present. We know when it was, 2004, so it's simple past, yeah? 6 millions of euros, you mean, what's 6 millions of euros? 6 million euros. £5, $100, not 100 of dollars. We're going up to percent of progress? Well, progress, you mean increased sales? It's not progress, is it? 2 millions of euros, million euros respectively. Okay, Belgium was 1 million euros. Stands between these two countries. The second table indicates a significant rise, so rose, and risen, in Switzerland's sales amount from 15 to 47. They reached the first place. Apart from that, made progress in sale or in the sale of bananas. No, right now, don't put this in. No supposition, no speculation, right? If it doesn't show it, you don't say it or include it, right? We can't really use this, can we? We can't make any kind of supposition. So don't put that stuff in. They don't like it. Only that which you see. Not only sale more amounts, not only sold more, but it's not so what with not only more sales, more purchasing, because they're not actually selling them, are they? They're kind of buying them so they can have some sales in their country, but they can't sell them. They're not being sold. Okay. And we don't need an article in front of Switzerland because it's a proper noun. It's a name. Information about sales thought. Okay. Denmark was the most seller. The most seller? What? The biggest? Hang on, right. So they're not selling these to people. It's like, to other countries. So they're not sellers. It's sales within those countries. Yeah. So it's sales of bananas and coffee within those countries. Yeah. But not, the UK does not produce banana and coffee. Sales in. So how many people bought, how much did people spend within those countries on Fairtrade bananas and coffee? So they're not the sellers. So we can't really do that. Denmark is not actually selling it. It's the amount of sales within that territory. Okay, so we can't really do that. In terms of selling banana, the most contribution, what's the Switzerland? An increase in selling, right. Again, it's an increase in sales within their territory, not in selling. Selling, right, anyway, I'm not going to change every single one. Of selling coffee, it's not selling, it's sales. Sold the highest amount of banana. Anyway, so it rose remarkably. Too much there for me to change or comment on. I've got these last two. I want to get these done. I've got other things to do. The table show information was coming. Right, see, look. Were sold in. Clearly, seems every countries were upward trends. So it's the sales were upward, not the majority of countries. 7 bananas in Denmark, as we know, points out banana in Switzerland was evidently the most profitable product. Okay, so varying degrees, upward trends. So the sales within those countries were going up. Yeah, so that's what you should say. Switzerland stood at first. How can it stand at what? It can stand at first place, and it can be first in the rankings, but it can't stand at first. Although coffee sales in the UK came to third place for experience central valuation 20 million. What's this millions of euros? Simply 20 million euros, $100, 1,000 RMB. Why millions of? Capitalization. Why is nobody using capital letters here? In contrast, shares, so then we're not going to turn that. Well, that shares, those shares, or that share was higher by a narrow margin of 2%. So we don't even have grammatically complete sentences here. If we look at banana sales, it can be seen that there was the most favoured, that they were the most favoured products in both years, capitalised as the Swiss who used bananas. Use them? Oh, who knows what they use them for? Hopefully it was to eat, not for any other purpose. However, in 1999, capitalise. What's this punctuate? What's this period? Full stop. Why is this not a comma? Bananas sold. Well, they didn't sell themselves. What? The amount of bananas sold equaled 1 million euros. So that needs changing to 5%. 5 years later, Sweden went in opposite directions, hit an all-time low, ranked to last. So quite a few things to change there. The given table, Fairtrade uncommon bananas, called the Fairtrade. So the amount of, or the sales for, in the UK, Sweden, and Switzerland. So that needs a bit of changing there. Okay. Now, do we have an overview? No. Not as such. That's not the overview. So in the overview, you don't include any figures or details. I'm not sure if this is. Is it an overview? Okay, so it's right. To make it clear to us, figures pick shit, readers, examiners, say this is an overview, and then don't put any figures in. You don't usually put it, you know. So in 1999, Switzerland sold more coffee. Or right. Again, they didn't really sell it. It sells within their territory. Yeah. So the other countries are to the highest revenue. Right now, look, you see, had the highest revenue from sales. So they weren't selling it to. It was sales within that country or territory. Okay. So that's what you need to do there. While in the year of 1999, or simply why not put while in 1999, selling coffee in Switzerland, 2 million euros was twice that of the UK, or of in the UK. The market with the highest amount of money spent on purchase. The market with the highest amount of money spent on purchasing coffee, 20 million. Change not significant other countries, costing was increased. So what's that? Is that supposed to be the sale of bananas? 50 so right. So if you're doing figures, you can put that respectively. Like 15 and 47 respectively. Far more than other countries in both years. That's when nice bananas sale was in Denmark. So okay, so that's not too bad, but you've got to, like I say, you've got to make sure that you get this right. So it's sales within the territory. It's not they sold so many millions of euros worth of bananas. So sold them to whom? So if you got, Active Voice UK sold, then who did they sell them to? So it's not, it can't be, it can't be sold. It must be sales within the territory. So sales of bananas in the UK reached 20 million euros, while sales in Switzerland were 6 million, etc. So make sure that you get that one right. So let me just put that there, so you can see mine. You notice I didn't put the years in the overview. I just said in both years. You don't need to put any figures or data in the overview, and there you go. That should sort you out. So we need to watch some grammar here, right? Articles, prepositions, verb forms, present perfect, simple past, capitalization, punctuation, quite a few things to have a look at there. Anyway, I hope that helps, so that's of some use. So link to the Telegram group below if you want to join it, my profile on italki. If you want personal tuition assistance, you can contact me there from next week. And yeah, I hope that helps. I'll see you next time. So I'm going to post a new task today, in fact. So that's going to be Cambridge 10 test number 3. I'm not sure what that is yet. I'll get it out in a second and take a look. But anyway, so we've done test number 1. That's test number 2. I'll do number 3 a bit later, and I'll see you then. Okay. Bye for now.